Right. I knew it. You really want to go to Israel. Now all I've got to do is get his picture. Whoa! It's a break! Something you gotta know, Rob. Yetis do not like having their picture taken. Huh? You're a Yeti and you like having your picture taken. Yeah, but I'm not like most Yetis. Most Yetis would be all like, see what I'm saying? Maybe your cousin will be like you. Oh, my cousin! Must be close. I have just the thing. Ranger gets binoculars. It's coming from the other side of the lavender field. Come on, Stopper. Thanks, Chipper. Uh-oh, I just remembered. Lavender makes Jenny sleepy. I don't want to miss you Stopper? Oh, sweet. Ranger facts. Lavender makes Yeti sleepy. I know. We can zip line over. We're zip lining! Yay! Ranger hat, helmet mode.
We got doubleheader action for you here on the TNC Sports Talk for baseball. Kicking things off here in just a few minutes will be the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs. The lineups, starting pitchers, and much more. Followed by first base, all coming your way here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Well, a good morning and a good afternoon to everyone who is tuning in and listening to us. This is game one of a doubleheader action right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. My name is Justin. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we have the first game coming up here in just a few moments is between the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs went off and broke a 10-game losing streak last night, giving the Atlanta Braves their first loss of June and a final score of 1-0. They go back in to action today as Justin Steele will get the nod for the mound for the Chicago Cubs. 1-5 so far in the season, 4.33 ERA with 50 strikeouts. He'll be taking on the Atlanta Braves. Kyle Wright, he's 7-3, 2.57 ERA with 80 strikeouts. And it's going to this today. This show is going to be this ball game is going to be a doubleheader. First game of two. We have the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs, which will be starting here in about 6 minutes from now, followed by the followed by tonight's game between the Seattle Mariners and the Los Angeles Angels, all part of a Father's Day weekend special here. So you guys stay tuned. We will get you guys to the starting lineups and the more details, followed by the first pitch right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. You guys are listening to the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, game one of a doubleheader here, and a little later on today after this game, we will have the Seattle Mariners taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Now, like I said last night, the Chicago Cubs beat the Atlanta Braves. Final score 1-0. That snapped a 10-game losing streak, which dated back to June. I want to say it was June 2nd. I got it right here. Dated back to June 4th in the doubleheader that the Cubs had against the St. Louis Cardinals. They lost that last game of the doubleheader, final score 4-7, and that started the Cubs off of a 10-game losing streak. They lose the series to the Cardinals 3-1. They lose one game to Baltimore with the game being postponed. They lose the series to the Yankees and a 4-game series to the San Diego Padres. They come in last night winning last night's game and trying to make it another game today as they head into today's game with Justin Steele getting the nod for the mound. On the other hand, the Atlanta Braves, they so far in June they are 14-1. They have made a stretch with last night being their first game they lost in the month of June. The Cubs are trying to make that a repeat and that giving them a second loss in June. The Atlanta Braves coming into today's game, 37-28. They sit second place, about 5.5 games out of first over the Mets, who sit at 43-23. Chicago Cubs come into the game 24-40, sitting 12 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals. Still a game above the last place Cincinnati Reds, and like I said, they were trying to come up after a 10-game deficit, come up and win another ball game. Starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves, been penciled in to you by Brian Snitker. Batting first in right field is Ronald Acuna Jr. Batting second at shortstop is Dansby Swanson. Batting third at third base is Austin Riley. Batting fourth, the cleanup, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. Batting fifth, the catcher, William Contreras. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Matt Olson. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Adam Duvall. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Orlando Arcia. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Michael Harris II. So that is Acuna Jr., Swanson, Riley, Ozuna, Contreras, Olson, Duvall, Arcia, Harris II for the starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves. The position-wise, looking for the Chicago Cubs in today's ball game, starting from a left field to right field, you got Ian Happ, Christopher Morel, Jason Hayward. Over at third base, you got Jonathan Villar. The shortstop is Nico Horner. Andrelton Simmons will be at second base, and at first base, Alfonso Rivas. Wilson Contreras will do the catching behind the plate for today's pitcher, Justin Steele, who last pitched back on the 13th of June against the San Diego Padres, which they lost. So it was last Monday, and they lost 4-1. Johnson Steele went 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts in that game. Coming into today's game, he is 1-5, a 4.33 ERA with 50 strikeouts. As the Cubs, we're sitting here looking into Wrigley Field. Great day for some baseball. Like I said, some doubleheader action going on as we have the Angels and the Mariners coming on your way a little later on this evening. The umpires for today taking on the home plate, calling balls and strikes is Doug Edding. First base is Bill Miller. Jeremy Riggs will be at second base. Roberto Ortiz will be at third base. As things get set, and we're ready to get some action here. Beautiful day. No clouds in sight here as we call the first pitch. As Steele sets and delivered. First pitch is in, called for a strike. Thank you guys for tuning in this evening here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. The Braves and the Cubs are doing battle here. Calling the balls and strikes is Doug Edding. The Cubs, as the 0-1 pitch, chopper up the left field side, makes the throw over to first, one away.
Bob, don't worry. I'll meet you guys at the next stop. Sugar, come in, sugar.
That was a ground out to Nico Horner. The Chicago Cubs wearing the pinstripes, white tops and white bottoms, while the Atlanta Braves wearing the solid gray tops, gray bottoms, and the red letterings. Dansby Swanson comes up to bat. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. Like I said, we got a doubleheader for you coming up today. The Angels and the Mariners later on, as the Angels lost. Interesting fact coming into today's game with the Cubs and Braves. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the corner of a called a strike. The Cubs and the Braves are actually making history with today's catchers, as the 1-1 delivery is outside low for a ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Because both Wilson Contreras and William Contreras, both brothers, are making the first start at catcher position facing each other in the first ever ball. Here's the 2-1. Swings and a foul. 2-2, the count goes to and so that's going to be a key figure of today. Both of them facing each other. Wilson Contreras for the Cubs, he's 276, 12 home runs, 26 RBIs of the game. William Contreras, here's the 2-2 down in the dirt. 17 RBIs. The first time they will be facing each other in the first ever ball game starting at the position of catchers. Here's a 3-2 payoff pitch. That's outside for a ball. Dansby Swanson draws himself a walk for Austin Riley to coming up to the plate. That last pitch from Justin Steele was just a little off on the outside corner. Didn't miss a whole lot of it. Doug Edding didn't want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Normally on a 2-2 pitch, on a 3-2 pitch, on a 1-2 pitch, anything with 2 strikes, you got to choke up. Runner on first for Austin Riley. First pitch, swing and foul. 0-1. Just getting on the way here at Wrigley Field. Cubs and Braves, game 2 of a 3-game series. I'll wrap up the finale tomorrow afternoon. Cubs breaking a 10-game losing streak last night, beating the Braves 1-0, final score. Here's the 0-1, swings it, fouls again, 0-2. Dansby Swanson, 9 stolen bases on the season. We'll see if he tests his legs with 1 away here in the top of the first inning. Nice, beautiful day in Chicago, north side. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. That's called for a strike. Out number 2 for Justin Steele. And talking about Justin Steele here for a little bit. Like I said, his last outing was back on Monday against the San Diego Padres. Now that was the game that they lost 4-1. Now he only pitched 7 innings, giving up 6 hits and 1 run, striking out 3. Marcell Ozuna takes first pitch, swing and chop and foul. Marcell Ozuna, the designated hitter for today's ball game. He's batting .230 with 12 home runs. Swanson on the first, two away here at the top of the first inning. We're just getting underway here in Wrigley. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinger chopped it up the middle there for back. As a matter of fact, goes back to Anderson Simmons. 1-2-3 with the runner left on. Cubs come to bat here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. It is time for the Cubs to come to bat here. Their starting lineup here given to you thanks to SeatGeek. Save 20% on your first purchase of $50 or more by purchasing your tickets and concert tickets all through SeatGeek.com. Batting first in center field will be Christopher Morel. Batting second, the catcher, Wilson Contreras. The designated hitter, Rafael Ortega. You'll be batting third. Batting fourth at left field, Ian Happ. Batting fifth at third base, Jonathan Villar. Batting sixth at shortstop, Nico Horner. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Jason Hayward. At first base, Alfonso Rivas. You'll be batting eighth. Batting ninth at second base is Andrelton Simmons. That is Morel, Contreras, Ortega, Happ, Villar, Horner, Hayward, Rivas, and Simmons. As we kick underway here at the bottom half of the first inning. The first pitch in there, swinging to third base, going to get through the gap, and first hit swinging will get Morel on, just passing Austin Riley over there at third base. So one out, no outs, and a runner on to begin the bottom half of the inning. As we take a look at the defensive positions for the Atlanta Braves here, as Wilson Contreras is getting a nice ovation. Like I said, both brothers are playing each other in their starting at catcher and facing each other for the first very time. Reminds you of Yadiel, the Molina family, where the Molina brothers good that way. As he steps in, Morel on first. First pitch is in there for a strike. Defensive look here for the Atlanta Braves. Starting in left field is Adam Duvall. Playing straight away center is Michael Harris, followed by Ronaldo Acuna in right field. At third is Austin Riley. Dansby Swanson will play short. Orlando Arcia at second. Matt Olson at first. William Contreras would do the catching as they take another look for a ball. 1-1. The count goes to Wilson. And Kyle Wright will get the nod for the Atlanta Braves. He picked up a victory last outing. Like I said, the first loss of June came from last night. They faced Pittsburgh and the final score 7-3 back on Sunday. In 6 innings, 5 hits, swings, chop, foul. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 home run in his victory back then. Comes in today's game 7-3, 2.57 ERA with 80 strikeouts. 1-2 the count to Wilson Contreras. That's going to be the big key day, the Contreras day. And Chicago. Winds going 12 miles an hour in from center field. Is the 1-2 up high and in 2-2. Temperature in degrees out in Wrigley Field. It's very sunny. No clouds that can be seen in sight as of right now. 68 degrees, nice breeze blowing inside. The big key difference of today's game is going to be the long ball, especially if you're hitting it to the left field side. Now it's going to come right back in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be lined out to right field. Coming around second is Morel heading over to third. He'll be stopping at third for another single for Wilson Contreras. Choking up on a 2-2 count, taking it opposite field, over the infield. And Morel knew that as soon as that ball was landing, he has the speed. He's going, and he went. Morel sits with 7 stolen bases. So far, the highest in the Cubs starting lineup going into today's game. He winds himself on third with his speed. So runners on the corners for Rafael Ortega. Ortega, the designated hitter. First pitch, swinging and a miss. 257 with 2 home runs, 700 on-base percentage. A chance for the Cubs to get something going here early on in the first inning. And it would be ideal if the Cubs could get something going and get a couple of runners on. Like I said, they beat the Braves last night 1-0. But prior to that, they haven't won a game since June the 4th, where they had a doubleheader with the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the 0-1, way up high, 1-1. And that means you went through 4 different teams, getting swept by the Yankees, by the Padres. You had a rain out against the Baltimore that will be made up later on this year. From my understanding, that will be, let me see if I get you the dates here, as Wright sets. Runner on first and third, 1-1. And the pitch is down in the dirt, 2-1. Check over at the third base umpire, Roberto Ortiz. No show. They postponed the June 8th game. It was supposed to be in Baltimore. The makeup will be August the 18th. Right sets, Ortega ready for the ball. 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Talk about Wilson Contreras over there. Only 2 stolen bases. I don't know how big the base running will be in today's ball game. Well, the ball will fly, and he looks at strikeout number 1 for today. Not looking. 1 away. Decent crowd out there in Wrigley. A couple of seats open. Looks mostly crowded. Beautiful day still set to see. I'd love to see the oversetting of Chicago. Ian Happ comes out, takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Happ comes into this game batting .280, 7 home runs. There's the 1-0 outside for a ball, 2-0. 53 runs batted in the first inning. Most in MLB history. Lead by Ian Happ. 30 runs batted in so far this season. Morel on third. Contreras is on first, which is fouled 1-2. Villar due up. Braves and Cubs here, bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 swing and a miss. 2-2. The count goes to Hap. Like I said, we'll be calling the Angels and the Mariners game. That first pitch is 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back a little later on tonight. You guys are listening to the Braves and the Cubs right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. 2-2 the count to Hap is down low, 3-2. Wright finding early struggles here to begin the ball game. Right, sitting at 16 pitches. It's going to be the pitching count to be aware of. Here's the pitch and a stolen base over to Contreras was going over to second. That was called strike. It was a swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Contreras thought about, William Contreras, we'll put it that way, thought about throwing back over to second, but checking back on Christopher over at third, decided to fake through. So Wilson Contreras will get second base with that ease. But there's 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Count that as a stolen base for Wilson Contreras. And for Jonathan Villar, takes first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. 219 batting average, 264 on base percentage, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs for Villar over this 40 games so far in the season. You got Morel on third, Contreras on second. Here's the pitch hit over to left field. That's going to get him down. Contreras rounds third. On the play at home is no good. Contreras will be safe. As 2 runs are scored, it will be a 2-out, 2-run RBI for Jonathan Villar to give the Cubs a 2-0 early lead here in the bottom of the first inning. It was a nice hit from Villar, taking an opposite side, landing in between the gaps out there in left field. Contreras knew as soon as the ball hit, I knew Morel was going to score, but Contreras, as soon as he knew he was going as soon as that ball was hit, and he rounded with no ease, not even a slide, as a first pitch in for Horner is taken outside for a ball. So Villar sits there at second base. And 2 away here in the first inning. And this ball outside, ball 2. 2-0. Cubs out front early on here in this ball game. And a very big hack, the swing foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. Horner, 274 with 3 home runs on the season. Wright already seeing above 20 pitches here in the first. Here's a 2-1 count. Swings it, chopped it to Riley at third. He'll toss it over to first for Matt Olson, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs are scored here in Chicago. We played 1. Cubs out front 2-0. Alrighty, the Cubs are out in the front, 2-0 here early on as we head into inning number 2 at Wrigley Field. The Cubs and Braves, game 1 of a doubleheader right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Game number 2 between the Los Angeles Angels and the Seattle Mariners coming up here later on tonight. It'll be 5, 6, and 1. Talk about Wilson Contreras coming up to bat back in the first. William, his brother, is coming up to bat right now, facing Justin Steele. Takes the first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. The brothers facing each other first time, both catchers. That one's on the corner, called strike, 1-1. Over 28 games this season, 287 batting average, 9 home runs, 17 runs batted in. That's a 1-1 pitch and swings and a foul, 1-2. Talk about the Contreras brothers here. Wilson doing the catching for the Cubs. Here's the 1-2 down in the dirt. 2-2 goes for Contreras. William. Here's a 1-2. Check swings. Checks at the first base umpire. Says no go, so that's go. William works his way to a full count. Matt Olson due up next. Full count to Contreras. And here's the pitch. Swings it, lines it over the head of the Cubs second baseman, Andrelton Simmons, and he will get a base hit knock to begin the second. And that was actually a nice leap and tip from Simmons over there playing second, more towards the second base bag. And that just got away from him, not too far. And William Contreras finds himself on first base with no outs. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson. Swings and a foul back. What's up? I would say just trash it. Runner on first, no outs here. In the top of the second inning. 1-1 the count to Matt Olson. Matt Olson, 246, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs. Here's the pitch. And his fly ball out to right center field. Going back is the center fielder, and he'll make the grab. Christopher Morale at the warning track for out number 1. One away here in the top of the second inning. And like I mentioned, the wind's blowing in from center field, so that's going to prevent long balls hitting the ballpark today. Especially so, looking at the pregame statistics and the analyst, everything's definitely coming in from the left field side. So if you have a chance, and here's the first pitch swinging and a foul to Adam Duvall, 0-1. So everything's coming in from heavenly, 24 feet in, 16 feet in, 8 feet in from left field. It's right now projected to 1 feet in coming in from right field. So if you're looking to hit the ball out, get the ball to leave the park, you're looking definitely to straight away right field. See how many people pull it. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. That's going to play a big factor. So less long balls today. You really got to get behind the ball if you want it to leave. And most of these batters are right-handed batters, left-handed batters. So there's the 1-1, popped it up high, shallow right, going back, and no one's going to be able to get to it. So because of that confusion, Contreras will be out at second base. Or for a moment, it looked like Rivas was going to go back to catch it. Alrighty. A lot of confusions here already going on early on. The ball dropped, threw it over to. What a way to end the top half of the second. No argument. We'll come back and disclose that a little bit later. The Cubs are leading 2-0 here in the second on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. So a little confusion there heading out of the top of the second inning. First pitch on the way to Hayward, and that was now. And this one here is grounded up to short over there to Dansby Swanson for out number one. And the play was basically Duvall grounds into a force out at first. So this was a pop fly that landed in the shallow right. Wasn't a call for a infield fly rule. That's the first pitch on the way to Rivas in there for a strike. But so the ball drops in shallow right, throwing Contreras tagging back, throwing it over, causing the out at forced out at second. And then as this one's in there for strike 1 and 2, and then they decided to throw back over to first for an inning-ending double play. A little complexion out there. I'll read the score. Swanson backhand throws not in time. A nice dirty play in the dirt. Olsen couldn't get it. And Rivas will get on, will make it safe on first due to an error from a throw by Swanson. Oh, actually calling this a single, no error. So Rivas on first, one away, and this is hit right up to third base rally, no throw, as both the pitcher and the third baseman went after the ball at the same time. Misconfusions there as Riley tried to barehanded it, but you had Wright just in the way of Riley, which caused him to have no throw. One out, top of the lineup here, due again for Morrell, who singled and scored. First pitch. And there for a strike 0-1. You have Rivas and Simmons on first and second. 5 hits in his first 2 innings coming into today's game. And that one's also on the corner, called for a strike and 0-2 now for Morrell. We're here in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Cubs lead. As Wright sets, pitches, and it's in there, caught looking for Morrell on out number 2. Two outs, 2 on, inning number 2 for Wilson Contreras, who singled and scored back in the first inning. Right sets. Here's the pitch. It's up high for a ball. Cubs coming into today's game 24-40. 12 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals, which all of this 10-game losing streak started. Here's the 1-0, a heavy chop foul. Pirates sits in third place, 25-38, followed by the Milwaukee Brewers, 36-30. Milwaukee and St. Louis, the only 2 teams above 500 in the Central. Pirates face the Giants later on tonight, this afternoon. Here's the 1-1, and it's hit, and it's going to get it down into right field. Coming on to score is Rivas. Over to third is Simmons, no play. And Contreras will get up to second as another run is scored here in the third, giving the Cubs a 3-0 lead. Some selective hitting for Contreras, taking it opposite field again, this time to right over to Acuna, making a throw over to third, and the ball getting away from Riley in the confusion. Simmons almost decided to go home, wisely chosen not to. So with some 2-out rally magic, the Cubs are up 3-0, and here steps in Rafael Ortega with 2 runners on, takes the first pitch strike. A runner on third and second, you think a single out in the outfield somewhere will bring in both runners. Contreras tried it back in the first. I won't have an issue trying it again. Here's the 0-1 down low. 1-1 to Ortega, who struck out looking his last plate appearance. Right, finding some difficulties here early on in this ball game. Sitting at pitch number 37, 38 here still to come. Here's the pitch, fouled back, 2-1, 1-2. Mishaps already going into the favor of the Cubs early on. David Ross trying to get the Cubs back on a winning track here. A 1-2 pitch inside, 2-2. But you think of how good the Braves have played the last 2 weeks of baseball. 14-1, 14 consecutive wins in the month of June. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's hit right back at second. Over to Arcia, throws it over to Olsen to end the inning. A run scored here in the second. The Cubs up 3-0 on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Doubleheader action here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Game 1, the Atlanta Braves up 3-0 early on as we head into the top of the third inning. And joining us later on tonight, if you guys want to tune in, we have the Los Angeles Angels taking on the Seattle Mariners. That'll be 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. Top of the third gets underway here in Wrigley. That's the first pitch. Hello, 1-1 the count to Arcia. This one's up high, gets away from Arcia. It's 2-1. And as you look at the Atlanta Braves coming into this game, 14 consecutive wins already in the third inning and hasn't gotten through the entire lineup. It's 8-9-1 as this pitch is down low and away. 3-1 the count. Michael Harris, the second, due up next. And here's the 3-1, and that's called a strike, 3-2. Arcia thought it was a ball four. That pitch was down and low and could have been a ball four. We play this again. Full count to Arcia. Here's the pitch. Chopped it just back to the pitcher. Throwing it over to Rivas at first and one away. Should have been a walk. Instead, it was a ground out for a strike. Out for an out number one. Michael Harris, the second, batting .314, 2 home runs on the season. A good outing so far here from Steele. First pitch swinging and the foul. 0-1. Acuna up next, grounded it out to short in the top of the first inning. Still nice, bright, easy day here, calling the game out there in Wrigley. This is lined right back up the middle, covered over by Nico Horner for out number two. Two quick ups and quick downs for Justin Steele. Easy to get the Cubs back in and get more runs scored in. Runs batted in. How often this month of June have you seen the Chicago Cubs out to a very early lead? First pitch on the way to Acuna, and that's outside down in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Acuna. Swings and a miss. So far in today's game, what you've seen has been the complete opposite. The way that the Braves have played, you would almost think that they would be sitting at 24-40 compared to the Atlanta Braves 14-game win streak in the month of June alone. Here's the 1-1 down in the dirt, 2-1. In the game that the Cubs lost in the last outing that Steele pitched in, now here's a pitch lined into right center field. That's going to get down for a knock. As Morel throws it back in, it's a 2-out single for Acuna, and hopefully to get something started for the Atlanta Braves as they look to scratch back from a 3-0 deficit. If you look back at the last time Justin Steele pitched, that was last Monday against the Padres in a 4-1 loss. He still went 7 innings as the first pitch to Swanson and the swing and a miss for strike one. Steele went 7 innings, 6 hits, and 1 run. So far, he's only given up 2 hits. And the Braves have also scored an error that I just saw. That was probably back with the Swanson throw. Here's a nice chop foul for strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs will get you that error update. I want to say it had to be in the top half of the first second. The bottom half of the second. Here's the 0-2 swinging foul. Trying to see where this error play that was by Acuna Jr. for a throw. That was the throw over to third from right field. And here's a pitch and it's outside, so the count goes 1-2. After looking into that play, that was the throw that Acuna made that Contreras hit. It was at E9. From my understanding. Here's the 1-2. That's going to get knocked up the middle. Coming around second is Acuna. Over to third. He'll be safe. And it will be a 2-out single with the runners on the corners for the Atlanta Braves. Well, this was a nice 2-strike pitch, hit right back up the middle, just getting past Nico Horner, and that settled into left center quite easily. So with 2 away, we have Austin Riley up to the plate, struck out swinging last time. You have Acuna over on third with Swanson on first. What? What? No, not right now. This one's hit, fly ball out to right field for Hayward to end the inning. A couple runs threatened here in the top of the third inning. No runs come back around to score. It is 3-0 Cubs here in Chicago. Four, five, six due up here in the bottom half of the third inning. There's 3-0 Cubs lead as we get ready. If you guys are wanting to vote your very favorite ball players, and you guys could do so. This one's lined into right field in front of Acuna. So App will get things leaded off with a single in the bottom of the third inning. If you guys want to vote your favorite ball players for this year's All-Star game, this is your chance to do it by heading on over to MLB.com. And you guys could select to vote up to 5 times a day up until the end of this month, which is about 12, 13 days left. So vote your Wilson, Contreras, and Acuna Jr. And runner on first for Jonathan Villar. Here's the pitch, is in there, called for a strike. No outs. Like I said, the ball doesn't fly as much this afternoon against Chicago. Be back again tonight, Angels and Mariners. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Called in for a strike, 0-2. Cubs and Braves wrap up a homestands. The Cubs wrap up a homestands, and they wrap up this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. Here's the 0-2. It's a pump. Cubs headed over to Pittsburgh for a 4-game series after this. A 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swings and a miss for out number 1. Villar goes in shrinking. Out number 1 here for Nico Horner, who grounded out to third base back in the first inning to end the first inning. Taking a look at the Cubs' schedule here in a moment. And as the first pitch to Horner, swings fouled. 1-1. Well, they go over to Pittsburgh for a 4-game series. Then they go over to St. Louis for a 3-game series. And then they come home to face the Reds to end the month. Take a look at the Braves schedule coming up here in just a moment also. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Horner. It's down low. Other games playing so far, the Yankees and the Blue Jays just got underway in Toronto. Still can't believe that both the Yankees and the Mets sit with at the top of their division. This one's outside. It's 2-1. Think of things usually in New York, one or the other usually sits at top. It's been a while since I've seen the Mets at the top of their division. Pretty solid. As right sets the 2-1, swings a fly ball out to right center field. Going back is going to be Michael Harris. He'll make the grab, and for 2 away. Happ trots back to first. Now for Jason Hayward. The Cubs would like to score the insurance run here in this inning if possible, because it's not more so of their pitching, their starting pitching, it's more so of their bullpen. First pitch to Hayward, swing and a miss. Pitch number 51 from right. This is out. And a nice stop by William Contreras. The Atlanta Braves, following this series, be going back home to face the Giants in a 4-game series, followed by the Dodgers. Pitch outside. 2-1. We'll spend all this week against the Giants and the Dodgers before they head up over to Philadelphia. A similar schedule dynamic with the Cubs for the next week and a half. Here's the 2-1. Outside. 3-1 to Hayward. Riva is due up next. As we're in the bottom of the third inning. A 3-1 foul back. Full count. Calling the second game of the doubleheader today between the Angels and the Mariners. As this is a scheduled game between the Angels and the Mariners, recording back because of the late start of the season. They started a week later. Here's a 3-2 pitch, flied out to left field. That's going to get down and get past Duvall. Here comes around to score is Villar. Is half, and it's going to be 4-0 for a 2-out double for Cubs. We kind of figured once this ball was hit, it was going to get down in left field, hit opposite direction was Hayward, and this gets down but bounces away from Duvall. And I wouldn't blame Duvall for fielding it up this way, but once it landed, it just bounces completely towards the left, towards the foul side. And as soon as that happens, Villar sees the pitch and takes off running, and he knew he was scoring with 2 outs. As the first pitch is taken outside, ball 1. Rivas due up here. He's run and scored back in the second. This one's outside, 2-0. Now, William Contreras taking time to visit right as he sits at 57 pitches so far. We're talking about things that the Cubs needed to do. Add insurance runs. See, they add tackle on another one here in the third. It is now 4-0 the Cubs lead. Here's the 2-1 up high, ball 3. Andrelton Simmons due up next. If Rivas gets on base. He's also singled last inning. A 3-0 count to Rivas, and here's the pitch. That's up high and draws a walk. So runners on first and second with 2 away. A run's already scored here in the bottom half of the inning. You think maybe the fly ball would have been a key factor in today's game. The Cubs have been able to do it so far without any of the big hits. Base hits and line drives was the key components of today's ball game. Andrelton Simmons steps up, the 9th batter, and takes in for a strike 1. Every inning so far, Kyle Wright has at least faced 5 batters. 6 in the first, 6 in the second, and this is the 3rd batter as well. This one's hit right back to Kyle at the mound. He'll run over to first, toss it over to Olsen to end the inning. Another run is scored here. Cubs out front 4-0 as we play 3 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Here's the first pitch to tip off the top of the fourth inning. That's outside for a ball. Welcome back to TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. The Braves and the Cubs, as the Cubs been dominating so far, 4-0. A big heavy swing and a miss for Azuna. Yeah, we have 4, 5, and 6 due up as Azuna is down. It's 1-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Justin Steele pitches outside for a ball. Justin Steele sits in the top of the fourth inning at 46 pitches. Must be nice to have an early lead to be able to have some comfortability. The shift is set over to the left side of the infield. Another big heavy swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2. Center field, right field is on the center fielder and right fielder, Morel and Hayward. It's on the right side of the outfield as Happ plays solo over in left field. A lot of ground to cover if you get that gap up the middle. Here's a swing and a miss. And gets away for strikeout number 1. Strikeout 2 to 3 put out for out number 1 here in the fourth. Cubs lead. As William Contreras is due up. Contreras goes 1-1 to count. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Contreras. This is grounded up to short to Horner. And he bobbles it, and no play will be made. Now we'll go for an error himself, so both ball clubs will have an error. Taking a look at games around the out-of-town scoreboard, most of the games will be playing later on this evening. I mentioned a little earlier that the Yankees and the Blue Jays are underway. They're in the top of the second inning. The Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates begin their play at 4:05 as the first pitch is in for Olsen. Still outside for a ball. 1-0 as Contreras is at first base, one away here in the top of the fourth. The Kansas City Royals and the Oakland A's follow up then with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. Like I mentioned earlier, the double-header action between the Angels and the Mariners. The first game is at 4:10 Eastern Time, followed by their 10:10 second game, which we will be calling. The Rangers and the Tigers at 4:10 as well. White Sox and Astros. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's up high, called strike. Miami and New York. The Mets taking on it, staying away at 4:10. Milwaukee and Cincinnati at 4:10 as well. Philadelphia and Washington 4:35. Cleveland and Dodgers 7:15. Here's the ground ball to first, throwing it over to second for 1, back to first for 2. A 3-6-1 double play to end the inning. A nice rare double play as the Cubs out front 4-0 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Make our way to the top of the fourth inning here with the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves. 4-0 the Cubs lead here as Kyle Wright's back at it. He sits at 61 pitches as we deal with the top of the lineup. Christopher Morel, Wilson Contreras, and Rafael Ortega as the first pitch in for Morel is in there for a called strike one. Talking about some other games going on, the Cardinals and the Red Sox, a good game. Game that I thought about should be calling sometime this weekend. Maybe not, as we deal with a doubleheader Monday, as the next pitch was in for a strike 0-2. The Padres and the Rockies at 9-10. Here's the 0-2 outside, 1-2. Minnesota and Arizona at 10-10 to wrap up your Saturday's throwdown. The Cubs and the Braves wrap things up tomorrow. This is caught down in the dirt, 2-2. And we'll go around some standings here. As I mentioned to you, the Cubs sit in second to last in the NL Central, right behind the Cincinnati, right above the Cincinnati Reds, the 2-2 down in the dirt. And Morales worked his way into a full count, 3-2. And just to think just how bad the Reds have put on a run in the month of April, they were 3-22. There's the 3-2 counts in there for a called strike looking out number one. And now they're sitting at 23-41 after they lost last night against Milwaukee. The Cubs, you could almost say, in the same scenario, 24-40. And Pittsburgh, not that much better, but they sit above them 25-38. Wilson Contreras 2 for 2, 2 singles, an RBI, a run, and a stolen base given to him credit as the first pitch is inside for a ball, 1-0. Not surprisingly, in the NL Central, this Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers seem to already run away with this division. This one's going to get down up the middle and through center field after a diving attempt by Dansby Swanson. Contreras rounds first and makes his way to second. What a game Wilson Contreras has had here so far in the first 4 innings. A one-out double credited to him. This one was on the outside plate, just taking it right back the middle, just like he does it best. Swanson dives, couldn't make it. A slow roller out to center field. And he, as soon as he saw that, he put the speed on, wrapped it around first, and kept on going. Not much talent you see there out of a catcher, but what a boy Wilson Contreras so far. Had to get himself a new belt. Just ran out of his clothes. The third base coach's belt there. So with one away, Contreras is on second for Rafael Ortega. Now that's what you do. Third base coach doesn't need a belt. Here's the pitch, and it's up high for a ball. I'm sure the third base coach will get his belt at some point due in time. More or less not important. It works and gets the job done. The 1-0 pitch is up high, 2-1. Looking at today's game so far, 4 hits, 9 runs, 1 error for the Cubs. 0 hits, 3 runs, 1 error for the Braves. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Check swings, going for a strike. The Cubs snapped a 10-game losing streak last night. A 1-0 win over the Braves, trying to make it 2 in a row. Here's the 2-1, a bunt attempt pulled back in the dirt. It's 3-1. The Cardinals and the Brewers so far this season that's been going back and forth with who's in first place. The Cardinals 37 and 29 as the Milwaukee Brewers 36 and 30, a game out. Here's the 2-3-1 pitch, and that's in there, called for a strike. Ortega thought it was ball 4. So a 3-2 count for Ortega. Ian Happ due next, who's singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Contreras on second. A 1-out double stretched out for him. Here's the set and the pitch. And his hit just foul. The controversy was, could the Reds have a repeat? You saw the Reds in the conversation last season up until September, and the Cardinals made that 17-game consecutive streak, getting them into the playoff. With the additional team that could be in the postseason this year, the Reds kind of sold off their team. Here's the 3-2 swing and a miss. Ortega out on strikes, 2 away. And the Cubs trying to make a run back at the postseason. You would have to envision that an extra team playing, being considered into the postseason, a different format. It would be ideal that most of the teams have something to fight for, and that's whole design for teams like Pittsburgh and Miami not to can their teams before the season even starts. Here's the pitch, and it gets away from Contreras, and Contreras rounds third, a heavy lead on the way to home, but backpedals it up. A wild pitch to Ian Happ. That pitch just literally got away and went back to the backstop. And now Contreras with 2 away sits at third. Here's the 1-0 to Happ. Swings it, grounds ball out to right field, actually, to Acuna to end the inning. A runner goes to a thread, no runs scored here in the 4th. The Cubs 4, the Braves nothing here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We're back at it here with the Braves and the Cubs, and it's been all Cubs so far. 2 in the first, 1 in the the second, and 1 in the third. As we head into the top of the 5th inning, and it's going to be Duvall, Arcia, and Harris due up. As the first pitch is in there for strike number 1, 0-1. Duvall 0 for 1, rounded into a double play back in the second inning. Here's the pitch, and it's a hit fly ball out to left field, going to the foul to the stands, and that's going to get into the stands. Souvenirs, it goes over 0-2. When we took a look at the Cubs, the NL Central standings, the NL East, where the Braves set in. You got the Braves, who actually had a 14-game run here in the month of June, as they sit coming into today's game 37-28. And the Mets just looking that much better. This ball's down in the dirt for a ball 1-2. Mets sit at 43-23, almost imitating their Bronx rivalry New York Yankees, who sit at 48-16, best team in the baseball today. Here's a pitch, fly ball out to right field, and that's going back to the wall. Looking up is Hayward, and that's going to get over the wall. Solo home run by Adam Duvall puts the Braves up 1, still down by 3. A solo blast on an 0-2 count gets the best of Steele at Duvall. Gives the Braves their first run of the ball game. A nice hit by Adam Duvall. And stepping in, there's Orlando Arcia as his first pitch is up high. Here's the 1-0. It's in there for a strike. 1-1. Steele sitting at 61 pitches, 40 of them being strikes. With the 4-0 lead, the 1-1 pitch is high fly ball to right field. Hayward going to the foul territory, so that's going to be a superhero. For Duvall, you kind of figured that was going to go. When you think about runs, home runs, balls leaving the park today, it had to be closer to the right field side. And with 2 strikes choking up on that bat, taking it opposite direction, so found himself a score. This one's down in the dirt, 2-2. So the win factor works in favor for the Braves so far. First team to hit a ball out of the park. This is a swing and foul back, so we play 2-2 for Arcia. When you talk about Steele, like it says, sitting at about 42 pitches so far, giving up 1 run with no runners on isn't a terrible deal, considering that his team has gotten him out to an early 4-0 lead. He can afford to get into a jam or two and give up a run or two. Not saying that you want to. Here's a pitch down in the dirt. Works his way into a 3-2 count. The ability to work himself out, I mean, this must be nice for David Ross to be able to trust his pitchers, especially out of the whole 10-game losing streak that the Cubs have had. Which probably really had to put a strain on the pitchers, especially that bullpen. Another pitch, foul back. (4-1) the Cubs lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swings it foul. Think about pitching duels and depths. You don't want to get into a ball game, having to get into your pitchers within the lead. You don't want to touch your bullpen for a while. Here's a swing and a miss for strike 3, 1 away. One away here in the 5th. After a good battle by Orlando Arcia. Michael Harris, the second. 0 for 1 with the ground out back in the 3rd. Here's the pitch. This one's going to hit right back up the middle for a base hit knock. One away and a runner on here in the 5th. I believe that thing's starting to heat up. You wonder why this is the answer to your why the Braves are in second place with 38 wins and 28 losses. The Phillies come in third, 35 and 31, followed by the Miami Marlins, who was one of those projected teams to be selling out, 38 and 28 and 34. And then Washington Nationals, out of all teams in the East, the Nationals definitely a team to be surprising at. First pitched on the way to Acuna is down low for a ball. He returned to the top of the lineup. 0-2 for Acuna today. 0 for 1 for Acuna today. Singled back in the 3rd. Here's a pitch, and it gets away from Contreras. Throws it back over to first just to check on Harris. 2 balls, no strikes. Doubleheader action today on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We have the Los Angeles Angels taking on the Seattle Mariners later on tonight. And that one's in there for a strike. 2-1. Two balls, one strike is up high. 3 balls and a strike. Acuna Jr. up next. 1 away. Top of the 5th inning. 4-1, the Cubs lead. Adam Duvall solo home run to kick off this inning. Here's the pitch. And the swings foul back. 3-2. Still sitting at 75 pitches. We'll see how close and how soon David Bell and the Cubs want to go to their bullpen. 3-2 count to Acuna Jr. Swing fell back. One team that surprises everybody is the Padres with a game lead above the Dodgers in the West. The Padres 41-25, a half a game above the Dodgers 39. Last time the Padres were up in first place was since 2010. June 13, 2010, the last time the Padres were in first place. Fouled off the shin guard, replay 3-2. 2 really good battles from Acuna and from Arcia. Harris on first. Wall solo home run a few batters ago. I don't think a lot of people would have thought, with how the Dodgers have dominated. I mean, we saw a little bit last season with the Giants in first place, but who would have thought the San Diego Padres taking that lead? This calls time steps away. And you would just understand that when it comes down to the NL West, it belongs to the Dodgers. And every time the Padres seem to get a hold of something, the Padres are in first place and they don't even have their entire team yet. Sending Joe Musgrove down on the IL due to COVID. Mike Clevenger comes back up. Tatis is not expected until July now. Here's another 3-2 chop foul. Oh, called it for ball four. Check swings. So 2 men on now with 1 away. Pitching mound visit by Cubs pitching coach Tommy Oldroy. Trying to settle him down, and still sits at 77 pitches in the 5th inning. A runner in 50 pitches of those strike. Really good comparison. 13 in the first, 12 in the second, 10 in the third, 12 in the fourth, and 22 pitches in this inning alone. As Steele tries to get out of this jam, 1-out jam, with Dansby Swanson stepping up. He is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single back in the third. The Braves down 4-1 here in the 5th. Here's the first pitch down at the shins, ball 1. Oh, 1-0. Down again, 2-0. Dodgers sitting in second, Giants sitting in third, 36-27. The Diamondbacks sit 31-35 with the Rockies in last, 28-37. Take a look at that American League a little later on. Here's the 2-0 down in the dirt, 3-0. Pitchers are trying to simply just get away as action is up in the Cubs bullpen. Two on, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Cubs lead 4-1. Here's Swanson, 1 for 1 on the day. 293 batting average. 9 home runs. Good time to get a ball hit opposite field. Here's a 3-0. Innocent. Foul, third base side. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cubs dugout having to play a little bit of Olay there. All right. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's down in the dirt. And he's walked, bases loaded now here, as coming up is Austin Riley. See what the changes here for Chicago. If they let him pitch and try to pitch out of his way. And I think as long as you get a candid pitcher, you would keep him in. Wilson checking up on Steele. Figure out what they want to do. With bases loaded, you have a home run by Adam Duvall to lead off the 5th inning, followed by a strikeout by Arcia. Harris singled to center field, followed by back-to-back walks from Acuna and Swanson. Austin Riley due up. He's 0 for 2 so far in today's game. David Ross is deciding to allow him to stay in today in the game. It's the first pitch on the way to Riley is in there for a strike. Think just get me 2 outs, get you back into the dugout, call of the day. Turn it over to the bullpen and see if the bullpen will hold this lead for you. 0-1 to Riley. Down in the dirt. 1-1. You see wind blowing in from left field all the way around. Long balls are slim to none shots. Here's the 1-1. Found it right back to the screen. Still sits at 85 pitches on today. I almost assume this will be his last batter. Unless he can get an out. 1-2, bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 5th inning. Cubs lead 4-1. Here's the pitch. That's up high, 2-2. Steele's only had 2 innings where he's only faced 3 batters. He's had 4 in the first, 5 in the third. Now this is batter number 6 for him. One's also a ball, full count, 3-2. Full count, bases loaded, 1 away, top of the 5th inning. Braves and Cubs as the Cubs lead 4-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. This is really well action if you want to look at really good ball game. Exciting inning going on. Cubs trying to get out of this jam. Braves trying to open it up and tie this ball game. Here's the 3-2 swing and a foul. Braves had a 14-game winning streak in the month of June. Came to an end last night where the Cubs won 1-0 final score, breaking that winning streak. Here's the 3-2 again. Fly ball out to left center field. Going back to catch it is Morel. Going to tag is Harris, and he'll be around to score. 4-2 Cubs. A nice battle from Riley. There was an RBI flyout, and the Braves are now trailing 2 here for Marcelo Zuna. Acuna and Swanson stuck at second. Who wants that ball hit as long as the ball is in the outfield, no matter what? Harris was tagging and going home. What a good play, and at least to get another run in here in this inning. You got plenty of time, especially knowing that this is possibly the last outing for Steele. You don't think that pitch number 90 coming up now is going to go any further than this. So you're going to deal with the bullpen, which has been one of the reasons. Throw back over to second. A nice diving play by Acuna, called safe. You don't think that, not saying that this will be a devastation or that, Cubs bullpen is not easy, not easy to handle. But if you look at the bullpen, this will be an opportunity. Here's a hit fly ball out to right field. Going back is Hayward to the track in the corner and making a diving catch. The ending inning. 2 runs scored here in the top of the 5th inning. We had played half of this ball game in Wrigley. The Cubs out 4-2. You're listening to the Braves and the Cubs here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Couple runs batted in here in the fifth for the Atlanta Braves. Back at it again is Kyle Wright as he begins his half of the fifth inning. 4-2 the Cubs lead as the first pitch on the way to Villar. 0-1. Jonathan Villar, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Here's the 0-1. A fly ball to left field side coming over to foul territory is Duvall, and that's going to be foul. 0-2. Villar's 1 for 2, 2 home runs. Nico Horner up next, followed by Jason Hayward. Not a cloud to be seen in Chicago. One of very few days that you get. And 1-2, the count and the pitch to Villar. Checks it. Down low for a ball. 1-2. Look at the American side of the standings. We'll visit the American League West here in a little bit. This is a chopper right up to Swanson at short, and throw it over to right to Olsen for out number 1. 1 away. Nico Horner takes the first pitch. Onside, strike. 0-1. 271. 0 for 2 in today's ball game. A swing and a foul. Count goes 0-2. We will be calling the Angels and the Mariners game. The Angels will be going into that game 30-36, followed by the Mariners 29-36, getting a chance to see a former Reds players, Winker and Guillermo Suarez, A foul tip caught into the glove called for a strikeout. Nonetheless, foul number 2, quick work made by Kyle Wright. Jason Hayward, 1 for 2, 2.207 ER batting average. And when we look at the West here, it's the first pitch in for Hayward is called strike on the outside corner. The Astros have gone on to a nice 9-game winning streak there. They are now sitting comfortably in first place, a 9-game stretch over the Texas Rangers. That one is called for a ball, 1-1. And the Oakland A's that unloaded this offseason, swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. Is sitting dead last, 19 games out of first place there. The Rangers sitting in second, 9 games out of first place in the West Division. Like I said, we call them the Angels and the Mariners. The 1-2 swing and a miss, score strike number 3. Easy work from Kyle Wright. 1, 2, 3, go the Cubs. They're still up 4-2 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Pitching change here for Chicago. Welcome back to the Braves and the Cubs here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. First pitch on the way to William Contreras is in there, called for strike. So we're going to strike 1. We have William Contreras, the 5'6'7" batter due up. Rowan Wick is a new pitcher for the Cubs. ERA is 4.78. And another swing and a miss, 0-2. Cubs up front 4-2 here. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Angels and Mariners play a little later on. Their game of their doubleheader, scheduled doubleheader that they've set the pace, is in process right now. The pitch on the way is hit right to short, right over to Horner, throw it over the first for 1 away. Justin Steele who has exited the ball game after completing 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, only faced 22 batters in the ball game. He will have an opportunity to win the ball game if the Cubs can hold on and continue and win this ball game. That will give them their second consecutive ball game over the last 10 games as a victory. Like I said, dating back all the way back with the St. Louis Cardinals on June 4th on their doubleheader. First pitch on the way to Olson was called for a strike. Comes to set his wick. Here's a windup in the pitch, a swing and a miss, 0-2. Now to Olson. Olson 0 for 2, 244 batting average. Flew out and grounded down to a double play. Here's the 0-2. Swings it, fly ball out to center field. Going back, it's Morel looking up at the warning track, coming in and making a diving catch for out number 2. For a second, Morel lost the ball in the sun, about maybe 5 feet away from the wall. And then he had to cut back in and dive and basically falling down as he was catching. What an incredible out number 2. And that's just a perfect understanding of where you're positioned at and where you're at and finding the ball, sticking with it, and readjusting. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 6th inning. And that could have been extra bases for Olson if he didn't catch that. First pitch in for a ball. Adam Duvall, who hit a solo home run last inning. One 0. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Like I mentioned, a whole bunch of games started just moments ago. For example, the Giants are out front of the Pirates 1-0. Milwaukee and Cincinnati top of the 1st inning. One, 2 to the ball here. Steps off the plate. Here's the pitch. And it's in there, looking on the outside corner. 1, 2, 3, easy work due up the Cubs here. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2. back here. Rivas is bunted to third, and Riley couldn't get the throw off in time, and Rivas approaches first base with no out here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Nice bunt laid down the third base line there. Riley comes up barehanded. By the time he takes the throw off, and the Rivas is already at third at first base. So with no outs here, Rivas is on first for Andrelton Simmons, who takes the first pitch. And their first called strike, 0-1. 4-2, the Cubs lead here in Atlanta. Game 2 of a 3-game series. Cubs trying to take the series, the first series taken since the end of last month against the Milwaukee Brewers when they won 2-3. The Cardinals series that I said that the Cubs started the losing streak. Here takes off Rivas, a diving play over through short, gets past Swanson, and Rivas is over at third, and Simmons is at first. A lot of action going on there. Rivas was off stealing and hitting a run play. Anderton hits it right up the middle, passing Swanson, and the wheels weren't stopping for Rivas as he rounded second and made it safely on the way to third. So Rivas is on third, Simmons is on first. Kyle Wright is back at it again. See how long Brian Snicker lets him pitch. Wright comes up to Swanson as he takes it to the bag at second himself, throws it over to Olsen for out number 2. But Rivas scores in, so it's an RBI double play. 6 unassisted to 6-3 RBI as the Cubs up 5-2 now. And listen, just some simple fundamental baseball, a little rest taken. Cubs playing aggressive here at the bottom of the sixth inning, trying to get that extra run or two back to expand that lead that they have over the Braves. And they've done it, although it was a ground ball. Here's the first pitch to Contreras, a swing and a miss. Contreras has been lights out, single back in the first, stolen base. RBI double to right and a double to center with a wild pitch. This is chopper right back up to Winker at third, to right at third, throws it over to Olsen. And a run scores in, but a quick inning is done. The Cubs score up to 5-2. Cubs lead here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Top of the seventh here with the Braves and the Cubs. Cubs out in front 5-2. And Rick is back out there. The Cubs out hitting the Braves 11-5 here. We are one error on both teams. This one's low and outside to Arcia. Arcia's 0-2 on the day. And the highlight of today's game must be Wilson Contreras. So this one's in there for a strike, 1-1. The Contreras brothers, just like the Molina brothers a few years back. Here's the 1-1 up high, 2-1. Double header, Angels and Mariners, set way at 10:10 Eastern time. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's lined right back to second to Simmons for out number 1. Michael Harris, who got things going a little bit in the fifth inning. Harris for a strike. Here's the 0-1 count to Harris. Swings and a miss. Here's the pitch, 0-2, swing and a miss. Number 2. Ronald Acuna Jr. due top of the 7-2 away. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Briefly taking a little bit look at the rest of the standings here for the weekend post. Minnesota is leading the AL Central with 37 wins, followed by the Cleveland Indians. This one's grounded, is going to get down in the left field. A 2-out knock from Acuna. So 2-out baseball talk here is what you're looking forward to. Being down by 3. Contreras Swanson is key to get on base because you would have to be able to face the dangerous Austin Riley as David Ross comes in and looks for a pitching change here. So we will get a pitching change for Chicago as we are at the top of the 7th inning and the Cubs lead 5-2 right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube. Take a look at the out of town scoreboard here as we're in the seventh inning. The Yankees and the Blue Jays, 3-0 Yankees lead. Top of the fifth. The Giants and the Pirates tied at 1 in the bottom of the first. The Rays and Orioles tied at nothing in the second. So is the Royals, A's, Angels, and Mariners. Like I said, that's the doubleheader game. Scott Efros is the new pitcher for the Cubs, 3.25 ERA. The Rangers trailing the Tigers 3-1 in the bottom of the first. And the Milwaukee Brewers up 1-0 as well. First pitch to Swanson was swinging and a miss. It was for 0-1. Still such a beautiful day in Wrigley Field. It's fouled back 0-2. Braves trying to get something going here in the seventh. You got Acuna on at first with 2 away. Riley's on deck. If they could get to him, some threatening action would be in place as the Braves are down by 3. Comes sets is Efros, and here's the pitch to the plate. Outside, 1-2. Rowan Wick, 1 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no walks, 2 strikeouts. He is responsible for Swanson, for Acuna, who is on first. Here's the 1-2, down low and outside, 2-2. Still nice crowd in Chicago. Game 2. Finish things up tomorrow, trying to pick up a series victory. And go for a sweep tomorrow. Here's the 2-2 pitch, foul. Talk about games still yet to be played. The Phillies and the Nationals, and then later on tonight you'll see the Indians and the Guardians, and the Dodgers, followed by the Cardinals and the Red Sox. This 2-2 pitch called strike looking, and Swanson has some words with the umpire trying to get an understanding. We had played a 6.5, 7th inning stretch here in Chicago. 5-2 Cubs lead here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Colin McHugh is the new pitcher for the Braves as he takes on Rafael Ortega as the first pitch is hit, long fly ball to right field. And that one you could touch them all, Ortega, as a solo home run to straightaway right. He had the distance and the wind carried it out. And the Cubs are now out 6-2. Nice straight off the bat from Ortega. And it gives the run back on the board. So the 2 runs were made up from a 4-0 earlier lead. As the first pitch to Ian Happ is in there, called strike one for a swing and a miss. Here's the 0-1, swing, fly ball out to left field. Going back is going to be called off is Harris, the center fielder, foul number 1. That almost had a chance to get out of here too. Kyle Wright pitched 6 innings, giving up 11 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. He exits the game trying not to lose. Possibility. Jonathan Villar, 1 for 3 today, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Colin McHugh, 3.42 ERA. You think about the 10-game losing streaks the Cubs had coming in and winning 1-0 last night. Definitely feels nice to come in and pick up game 2 of a 3-game series. Ball outside, 1-2, 1-1. There's a 1-1 swing, chop foul. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swings it, chopped it to the first base side. It's foul. Double header game on for today. The Angels and the Mariners later on tonight at 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. Here's the 1-2 pitch again. It's outside. 2-2. One away here in the 7th, and we talked a little bit about the rest of the standings going around Major League Baseball. 2-2 pitches in the dirt, 3-2 now. I mentioned the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Indians about a game apart from each other in the standings. And it comes down to the amount of games being played, even though Minnesota has 37 wins and Cleveland has 33. Here's a 3-2 down in the dirt, drawing out a 1-out walk. And then you got the White Sox, who's 5 games out at first with 30 wins. Then Detroit, and then Kansas City. The Yankees mentioned to have the best record in baseball, 48 wins, 16 losses. Toronto sits right behind them, 11 games out. Seeing 11 games out of first place as the first pitch into Nick Horner is inside, called strike, 0-1. Horner's 0-3, struck out in the 5th inning. Well, you got Toronto, Tampa Bay, Boston, and Baltimore. With Baltimore not having a terrible record this year. Here's the line drive to right field that's going to get down. And everyone's going to stop at their respective bases. So 1 out single for Nick Horner. Advances Villar to second with 1 away.
Sophia, wait.
2 on and 1 out. As we look for Jason Hayward to step up to the plate. Hayward is 1 for 3 with a RBI double back in the 3rd inning. And the first pitch is in there, called for a strike. You look at the standings. The Yankees out in front, best record in baseball, followed by the New York Mets. This one's popped up foul territory, and Raleigh does not have a play over there for third. The Padres will be sitting at the 3rd best record with 41 runs, 621. Well, the Astros will be sitting at third with 625 winning percentage, and then the Padres. Solo home run earlier on by Rafael Ortega gives the Reds a 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A walk by Villar and a single by Horner. Here's the pitch and foul right field side. It's 0-2 for Jason Hayward. Still a decent crowd. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Goes down Hayward. Two outs, 2 on, bottom of the 7th inning for Alfonso Rivas, who's went 2 for 2, scored both times to the plate, walked back in the 3rd inning. Villar is at second, Horner's at first. First pitch chopped along the first base side, 0-1. Q giving up a home run earlier on. Trying to go back to the dugout. Give the Braves a chance to score some runs in the 1-1 count. Fouled it. Back 0-2. Two runs, 2 outs, 6-2 Cubs lead, bottom of the 7th. 13 hits for the Cubs, 6 hits for the Braves. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss, the ball down in dirt. Pick it up by Contreras, throws it over to Olsen to end the inning. A solo home run by Ortega, and the Cubs are up 6-2. We played 7. Braves and Cubs here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Into the top of the eighth inning, 6-2. The Cubs lead. A couple of home runs throughout the day by both teams. As Scott Efron is back out there again versus Austin Riley, takes the first pitch in for strike one. Tomorrow's game between the Braves and the Cubs, 2:20 Eastern Standard Time at Wrigley Field. We'll get you to the pitching matchups here in a moment. As Efros takes a little bit extra time getting set. The pitch is in there for a strike. 2 runs scored in the 5th inning. A home run by Duvall, and then Harris, who's going around to score as well to give the only 2 runs for the Braves in today's ball game. It's a hit, fly ball out to left field, going back to the foul territory. It'll be foul. Ian Anderson for the Braves, 5-30, 4.81 ERA with 53 strikeouts. Will take on Kyle Hendricks, who's 2-5 with a 4.95 ERA and a 43 strikeouts on the season. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3 goes down Riley. Marcelo Ozuna coming up to the plate. He's also 0-for-3 on the day. Good outing from the bullpen and the pitching performance, really good pitching performance from the Cubs. Here's the first pitch. It's inside for a called strike. There's no 1 pitch. It's down low for ball 1-1. Taking a look at later on second game tonight. First pitch 10-10 from T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Jose Suarez for the Angels. This one's in there for a call strike, 1-2. And Ozuna is not liking that pitch. And the Mariners have not yet announced who's going to be starting pitching for that game. So they're playing a scheduled doubleheader today for a game that was canceled back at the first week deadline due to a CBA agreement complications. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing, chop, foul. Took a look at the game that's going on right now. They're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And there's no score for the Angels or the Mariners at this moment. You have the 1-2 and chopped it foul right first base side. Yeah, flexing from the mound for the Mariners, as you have Patrick Sandoval on the mound for the Angels. It's going to be interesting to catch that game later on again tonight. Game 2 of that doubleheader. The 1-2 to Ozuna. Swing and a miss. On number 2, 2 strikeouts for Efros. Olivia on the couch now. William Contreras 1-for-3 in today's ball game. First pitch takes, strike one, 0-1. Like I said, the big report of today's game, the Contreras brothers playing against each other for the first time ever. And it's all been about Wilson Contreras. This is lined to left center field, going back to the wall, hitting the ivy. Rounding first is Contreras, and he's going to make it to second, standing up for a 2-out double. So the third hit from William Contreras today, a infield single, an E6, and a double. And both of the Contreras family has been very hot this evening, but it's been all about Wilson Contreras at home. Cubs lead 6-2 here in the top of the 8th inning. Efros sets to face Matt Olson. First pitch outside and cuts back in time for a called strike. 0-1. Cubs 2 run in this first, a run in the third and the second, and a run in the sixth and the seventh to make 6 runs. A swing and a miss by Olson. 0-2. I know we're in the midst of June. The chances of being able to come through and get back into the NL Central. The Cubs finally break a 10-game losing streak last night. Checks throw back to second. Wilson testing his brother over there. Here's the 1-2 to Olson. Toss it right back to the mound. And Efros will take it up to first and toss it over to Rivas to end the inning. Inning in the third, no runs allowed for Efros. 6-2 Cubs lead here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube.
Are you okay?
6-2 Cubs lead. Taking a look at where they'll be headed here after the series. They wrapped up the 3-game series tomorrow against Atlanta, 2:20 Eastern Standard Time. 4 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates, 3 games against the Cardinals in St. Louis, and then they're facing the Cincinnati Reds at home. Then they will have the 4th of July weekend against the Boston Red Sox before they head on over to Milwaukee. And the bottom of the 8th inning, and Jesus Cruz is the new pitcher for the Braves, as the first pitch to Andrelton Simmons is swing and a miss for a strike. Andrelton Simmons 2 for 3, a single to third and a single to center. This pitch is in there, 1-1. The Cubs got out to a lead and never looked back. Another swing and a miss. Makes it 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. It's in the dirt, 2-2. They said they wrap up the 3-game series tomorrow. The 2-2 pitch. It's in there, strike 3, caught looking. Went away. Simmons knew that. And off the bat. There's the first pitch, swings in the chop. Foul, 0-1 to Christopher Morel. They've been through the batting lineup 4 times today, scoring in 6 runs, 13 hits with 1 error. 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball, 1-1. Talking about other things going around town. A big swing and a miss. 1-2. Attendance for today's ball game in Chicago, 40,755. This one is chopped short to Swanson over the first. Also will get it on a bouncing play for out number 2. Wilson Contreras comes up to the plate here for his 5th time. He's singled and scored, doubled in the second, doubled in the 4th, and then grounded back to the pitcher in the 6th inning. First pitch on the way to Contreras, first or called strike, 0-1. First time the Contreras brothers has started the catching position against each other in their careers. That's the 0-1 pitch. It's down in the dirt, 1-1. You got 7, 8, 9 due up in the top half of the 9th inning, and this one swing and a miss. Pitch down on the dirt, 1-2. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Braves, trying to catch things back up. Another swing and a miss, and then Contreras go down on strikes. The last chance for the Atlanta Braves, 6-2, the Cubs lead. You got the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Last chance for the Atlanta Braves here in the top of the ninth inning as the Cubs are out front 6 runs to 2 over the Braves. It is the seventh, eighth, and ninth due up here for Bill Snicker and the Braves as the Cubs look to take the series, the first series since the end of May when they did it against the Milwaukee Brewers. When they first started the 10-game losing streak this month, and they lost that second game to the doubleheader of the Cubs, it was actually a 5-game series because it was a doubleheader that was scheduled into the weekend series. Chris Martin will be doing the pitching for the Cubs. Pitched 15 pitches yesterday, and also another 15 pitches back on Tuesday. ERA is 4.82. First pitch on the way to Duvall. It's outside, down low, ball 1. Adam Duvall 1 for 3 with a solo home run. Kick off the ninth here. The Cubs trying to close things down to wrap up an afternoon day at the ballpark. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss by Duvall. Count goes 1-1. He said we'll be back again at 10 o'clock tonight to be calling the Angels and Mariners game, which is a double header action also. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball down low. 2-1. Mariners 1-0 against the Angels in the fourth. We're keeping tabs on that game because we're calling game 2. Getaway days tomorrow. The 2-1 popped it up to left field. Coming in is Happ. And it's going to get down as Nico Horner called it off at the last second. It looked like for a moment Ian Happ was going to come in and grabbed it, and then apparently Nico Horner comes in calling him off, backs out at the last second, and Christopher Morrow ends up whining with the ball. I believe it was supposed to be for Happ. I feel like Horner backed up and lost the side of the ball at the last second. And that allowed the ball to get on base and to make it a double. So when it should have been 1 out, it turns into a double. So they are marking it as a double for Duvall. He'll be on second. And you just hope that something like this doesn't come back around and haunt the Cubs. It's done it in the past. This one's in there for a cold strike. It's 1-1. Orlando Arcia 0 for 3. Good lead out from Duvall here at second base. Here's the 1-1. It's down low at the knees. We're called strike 1-2. We saw the Cubs over in New York to face the Yankees a couple weeks ago. We'll see the Cubs and the Red Sox in Chicago a couple weeks from now. There's a swing and a miss for out number 1. That fastball just got right by him. 1 away. Michael Harris II, 1 for 3, 3.15 ERA. Still looking to get the win in today's bowl game. First pitch, a ground ball foul on the first base side, 0-1. Wright, who wants any more than stealing, get the loss. The score stays the same. Duvall at second, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. So back again tomorrow. There's the 0-2. His Wright's up the middle. Duvall's rounding around third, going on the way home. He'll score with ease. So the lead cuts down 6-3. A 1-out RBI here allows the Braves to score in the third run of the day. And now it's 6-3 to going back to the top of the lineup for Ronald Acuna Jr. Acuna, 2 for 3. So walk back in the fifth. Looking to stretch on and add an extra run to the Braves trying to catch up. Being down 4-0 early on. First pitch on the way to Acuna. Up high and in. 1-0. Braves scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Want to know the count here. Swings, fly ball out to left field. That is going to be caught by Ian Happ. Foul number 2. And that got the fans motivated for some reason. Happ has to drop down to one knee out there in left field and took an extra base hit away from Acuna Jr. Last chance for Dansby Swanson, 1 for 2 today. 2 down. Everyone's up on their feet here in Chicago. Runner on first. Martin sets, and here's the pitch. Down in the dirt. Ball. 1-0. Hopefully we get the same crowd later on tonight in Seattle. Giants up 3-1 against the Pirates. Seattle scored 1-0 there in the top of the fourth. Here's the 1-0. Down low. Harris steals second. It's 2-0. Milwaukee's up 4-0 against the Reds. Phillies Nationals tied at 0. Mets up against Miami 3-0. Here's the 2-0. That's it, foul back. Two 1 to count to Swanson. Harris is on second. 6-3, the Cubs lead top of this ninth inning, 2 away. Martin sets and pitches. Turns, fouls back. Comes down to their last strike. definitely hear the energy coming from the fans, all 40,000. And the time is called. Let's reset the count here. Be back again tonight, a couple hours, to call the Angels and Mariners game 2 of their doubleheader. The 2-2 pitch. It's down to the dirt, 3-2. Austin Riley up on deck. One more of your powerful hitters who's been shut out tonight. Martin sets on a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. And another foul back. We'll redo it again. Slider, forcing fastball, 2 sinkers back to back. Curve and a fastball again. Lowest pitch was that curve, 85. The 3-2 to Swanson. And here's the pitch. Swings it to the right field. Just foul. Is going to be a souvenir to the crowd. Nice battle. Braves trying to come back. Cubs trying to hold on to a lead. They broke that 10-game losing streak last night. Here's the pitch. And this hit to left field. Ian Hopper's going to make the grab, and that's going to be the ball game. Cubs not only win a game last night, but takes the series today. The final score is 6-3 over the Atlanta Braves. We'll come back with the wrap-up in the finals and getting you guys to look into tonight's game later on. The Cubs beat the Atlanta Braves 6-3 right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Talk about a final game here in Chicago. The Cubs beat the Atlanta Braves 6-3. Final score in the rundowns here. Take a look at the lines. The Atlanta Braves with 3 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. With the Cubs, 6 hits, 13 runs, and 1 error allowed. You have your winning pitcher in Justin Steele, who went 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts, while your losing pitcher was Kyle Wright. 6 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 11 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts to be said the ball game. Coming in for the save and picking up the save, you had Chris Martin, who went 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, with 1 strikeout. A nice few plays given out from both ball clubs here. The Cubs got out to an early lead here as they kicked things off in the second with Morel and Contreras getting on base to start the game, all being scored in by Jonathan Villar's double with 2 away. They come back to answer in the second with Contreras hitting a 1-out double to score in Rivas. Also in the third inning, where Hayward hit a run-out double to left to score in Ian Happ. The Braves come back to answer a 4-0 deficit with a solo home run by Adam Duvall to kick off the top of the 5th inning. That wouldn't stop when Austin Riley flew out to right for a sacrifice RBI, scoring in Michael Harris. It pushed the Cubs up 4-2. The Cubs come back to answer in the 6th inning, scoring in Rivas again, thanks to a weird double play given by Christopher Morel. The Cubs also scored a solo home run in the 7th to gain back those 2 runs by Rafael Ortega, a home run straight away to right field. The Braves try to answer back with some 9th inning magic, scoring in Duvall after he doubled to lead off the 9th inning, but nothing was able to come across. The Cubs scored 6 runs, beating the Braves, not only snapping that streak, but also taking the series over the Atlanta Braves. They come back and try to do that again tomorrow. We'll take a break. We'll come right back and give you all that information and everything you need to know about later on tonight's game. You're listening to the post-game show here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Welcome back here to the post-game talk on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, where the Cubs just got done beating the Atlanta Braves. Final score 6-3, and it's been all about the Contreras family. Both William Contreras for the Atlanta Braves and Wilson Contreras for the Chicago Cubs made their start behind the plate in today's ballgame. First time in their major league careers that they both started at the same position and faced each other. The Cubs broke a 10-game losing streak last night with a final score of 1-0. And if you looked at both of these teams today, you would have almost envisioned that the tables would have been turned. You would have never thought that the Chicago Cubs were were a team to lose 10 straight, and you would have even thought the Atlanta Braves were a team to go 14-1 so far in the month of June. Turned out to be a decent game nonetheless, and we take a look into tomorrow because the Cubs have a chance to finish out the rally in a series sweep. The first time that they take a series was since the Milwaukee Brewers last back in at the end of May. They get a chance to take the sweep against the defending World Series champions Atlanta Braves tomorrow. First pitch is at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Wrigley Field. The pitcher for the Atlanta Braves will be Ian Anderson. He's 5-3 with a 4.81 ERA, 58 strikeouts. Well, he takes on the Chicago Cubs' Kyle Hendricks, 2-5 with a 4.95 ERA with 43 strikeouts. Taking a look at what the Chicago Cubs have to look forward to after the series finale tomorrow. They start their road series, 7-game road series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're kicking off a 4-game series tomorrow, Monday night, against the Pirates, and then they take off to St. Louis to face the Cardinals in a 3-game series before coming back to face the Cincinnati Reds. So the Cubs have plenty of opportunities this week to get a chance to break away from the bottom half of the standings in NL Central. Currently, they sit 25-40, still behind the Pittsburgh Pirates as the Pirates head into their ball game leading 4-2 against the Giants in the top of the 4th inning. The Atlanta Braves fall back 37-29 as they remain in second place. Coming up tonight, we have the Los Angeles Angels and the Seattle Mariners. That first pitch will be underway at 10:10. We'll be back at 10 o'clock to bring you that coverage and highlights and much more. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs pregame, in-session game, and post-game show. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.